Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't want this to be a quick. I don't want this to be a long live. I want to talk about the situation that happened a couple of days ago. I just found out the other day though. This is the 6 year old biracial black kid, right? Really, he black because at the end of the day, society looks at him as black. But he got shot in the arm. He could have got killed, but he got shot by this Vietnamese guy, right? I saw a video about it and I just started researching on it on YouTube. And it turns out a lot of people are talking about this. The block is hot, man. A lot of people are talking about this. And on the other side, a lot of people they not talking about this. They quiet. It's crickets on the other side. Yeah, those native black folks, they're talking about this and they calling things out. And I actually agree with it. Cause y'all know I've been calling the other side out on these few past videos, calling out the stop the Asian hate narrative. There was a narrative going on. The narrative is, it's you blacks, it's the blacks that are attacking us. It's the blacks that are attacking Asians, especially black men. And then like a month later, you find out that, a lot of Asian Americans, especially Chinese, they was donating money to the Proud Boys a month before the Capitol attack. And some of them were from the homeland, the motherland, like in China. And this is crazy because this proves what I'm saying about the propaganda. A lot of these people, just people in general, who are non-native Black American, they're on the outside looking in. They don't know the dynamics between Native Black Americans in the country. So they see these negative images on TV, they see everything on TV, and they have their opinions about us. And you got this story out here, everybody calling out because the narrative is black people attacking Asians, especially black men. But no one calls it out on the other side. They're taking these isolated instances, right? No, 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 no. I've been watching the videos of people talking about this, and I'll be looking at the comment section. Y'all already know what I do. I like to look at the comment section and read all the comments. Cause people tell you how they feel in these comment sections. And I've seen some Asians talking about how it's racist to use these incidents and try to paint a brush on the entire community. And I agree about that. I agree of not taking certain situations and try to paint the whole entire group with a broad brush, but at the same time, that's like hypocrisy because Native Black Americans don't get the same courtesy. I mean, this is hypocrisy, but you got the Asian hate thing going on, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I stand with them. I support them on that. But I just don't agree with the narrative. The narrative was just, oh, it's black people. Black men are attacking us. Black people are attacking us. Hold up. What about us getting that same courtesy? Like you taking these same isolated incidents and you trying to make a narrative painting all Native Black Americans with a broad brush. But when it's on the other side, it's not okay. So dude went to jail, only got like a $10,000 bond, which is crazy. You shot at somebody, at a kid, could have murdered him. The guy went back to jail, and the bond was like 100,000, but that's only because of the outrage. It should have been 1 million, because I'm pretty sure there have been situations when blacks, Native Black Americans, to have they bond like $1 million for doing something less than that. And what I didn't like is how I watch some of these cats videos, especially even some of these pro whack dudes and females, because some of them end up being pro whack. But I seen people throwing the brother under the bus, the father of the child. They throwing him under the bus. I seen Phil from the Advice show and some other people throwing the guy under the bus. Not everybody was throwing him under the bus, because I was reading the comments talking about he's scared and scared, and they trying to use him as an example to throw all black men under the bus as if he represent all black men. They trying to say, oh, no wonder why the women don't respect y'all, because y'all don't fight and protect, and y'all acting all scary and stuff, but you quit to go in on women. I'm like, dude, these women talk big and bad, but they quit to go in on brothers. They won't pull up on Becky. They won't pull up on Zaddy. They won't do none of that, but they'll pull up on another brother with the critness and try to tell him about himself. What about that? And then they be calling the police on brothers, or try to take the child away from them, put them on child support and all that. You the same so-called white supremacist system that you're complaining about to get a brother here and there. Where's your smoke for that? And this is one of the reasons why Native Black Americans can't get anywhere. Why everybody is above us. It's because some Native Black Americans do not know how to play the game. A lot of Native Black Americans are playing checkers while everybody's playing chess. I mean, he's not supposed to. They wanted this brother to act all big and bad, huffing and puffing, cussing and threatening on camera. They literally asking him to incriminate himself on camera, and then Kid Organic. Look, I'm just gonna say this. I wash my hands with the dude. I don't fool him no more, man. This is ridiculous. He always trying to find a way to throw black folk under the bus, Native black folks under the bus, and try to hide behind, oh, I'm holding Black America accountable. Okay, I'm not against that, but at least be decent. I mean, some of your stuff is not even fair, man. You be moving the goalposts. But enough of that. That brother, man, he couldn't just act that way on the camera. That was a smart move. That's a chess move. You supposed to act all worried, be worried and stuff. You're not supposed to be foaming out your mouth, raging out. You in a situation right there, you supposed to be all worried. He was just worried for his son. That's why he said what he said. He was scared for his son. Of course, he's a parent. If you had a child and you just found out your child got shot, you're gonna be scared. You're gonna be worried. Cause you don't know if your child died or not. You're supposed to present yourself like that in front of the cameras. Because that's how you create a narrative, dude. People, that's how you create a narrative. When you are worrying stuff, you make yourself the victim, and you just control the narrative. Because if you raging out, now people gonna look at you like you some type of perpetrator, and then the police and everybody's gonna be looking at, keeping a watch out on you, keeping a lookout on you. Make sure you don't do nothing that you're not supposed to be doing. And you try to bring up the fact that all them white folk went down to the Capitol, and he tried to dismiss the fact that they white, and you know he been disingenuous. I mean, if you use that point anywhere else, oh, it's white. They white. They get a slap on the wrist. But because he want to throw black men on the bus, now he's not going to use that argument when it's convenient. You know, if it was a bunch of black folks in that Capitol attack, they would have got shot up. That dude went on like a 15-minute tirade throwing black men on the bus, having his cape on, his utility belt, throwing all types of batterings on black men. It was ridiculous. We don't have the luxury to react and lash out like white people do. We just don't. We gotta move a certain way to get what we want. It's just how our reality is. And I've been calling this out for a long time. And General Tito been calling this out. It's like these daggles, they want us to die. They want us to get killed. And then these Hotep dudes, they're the biggest cowards ever because they talking all that junk, but they wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. They want other brothers to make that first step before they make that first step. It's like, dude, I'm gonna jump off clip, but I want you to jump off first, then I'm gonna jump off. People been calling this out though, man. It's gonna be another. It might be a Asian Zimmerman, and I hope that does not happen. I hope it doesn't happen because I was on Kid Gunner's video and I put it in the comments, man. If something happens, there will be a backlash. There's gonna be a black backlash, bro. I'm telling you, man. If something pop out, it's gonna be a backlash. I'm just gonna let cats know, bro. Y'all better pick a side. I mean, this ain't hate to anybody, but do people really want that smoke? People trying to they chasing whiteness, not all, but some. Do they? I mean, do some of these cats really want to get in with these good old boys just to go against us? Because it's not going to be easy smoke. It's never been easy smoke. If you let these history books tell you, they'll just show you. They'll just tell you that, oh, Native Black Americans, we just being docile, just sitting there getting our booty ate up like groceries by dogs, all types of arcanines and growlers and ham dogs, and we just did nothing back when black men have been leading slave rebellions for over like 100 years, fought against the country to earn their freedom, then fought in every war this country been in, plus armed up and protecting themselves against white supremacist terrorists during the Jim Crow and civil rights era with the Black Panther Party. And the only way they could have took it down wasn't because of law enforcement. They took it down because of informants. I have not seen any Asian people call this out. I seen one dude video. He said that there was some Asian activists that called us out, but it's not enough though. They don't set the tone. Those little individuals don't set the tone. It's not being promoted. Yo, what's up, guys? I was talking about how that 6-year-old black kid got shot by that Vietnamese guy. This is not a good look for the other side, because the other side was talking about, stop Asian hate, and they're trying to blame all black. They're trying to blame black people. That's the narrative. It's black people attacking us when black folks ain't even attacking Asians like that. We don't even have them in our conversations. When we have conversations, especially about race, and believe me, I know other groups of people have those conversations too. We already know what it is. These other groups, they be telling their kids, especially their daughters, stay away from Jamal. You better not bring Jamal to the house or you getting kicked out. We already know what it is. Black folks don't even do that. Native black folks don't even do that. They trying to blame. I don't like this narrative. They trying to blame black folk when Native Black Americans, when it comes to Native Black Americans, everybody's literally invited to the cookout. Native Black Americans invite everybody to the cookout and nobody bats an eye. And if we're so violent, just that and the third, why do people come in our communities or so-called communities and put businesses on them? Cause they know that's where the bread and butter at. And then and two, these white folks ain't accepting them. Well, you better get your rice ass out of my community. You can't come in here. Or with the Arabs, you better get your sand N-word ass out of my community. They ain't accepting them. Even the Mexicans, they ain't accepting them like that. Bro, man, we generate according to GW3, and I probably gotta hop back on the Discord and ask him to give me the link to some of the stuff he be saying. He claimed that basically Native Black Americans, we're like the highest income within all on ethnic groups. We generate more money than other ethnic groups. Maybe not like individually, but collectively we do. And then black men, we control 80% of that. And then if you compare the billions of dollars that's generated in black society, and you compare that to third world countries, we make if if Native Black Americans with their own country, they generate more money than some of these third world countries. Yeah, we spend more. Facts. We got that. So people know what the deal is. And then when we come to our household, when we talk about race and stuff like that, we don't tell Native Black Americans don't tell their kids stay away from Chain, stay away from Payleen, or stay away from Jose and Maria. What's a word for Arab? A name for Arab? Abdul or something like that. Stay away from Abdul. Black Americans don't even tell their kids that. The mostly Black Americans, Native Black Americans tell their kids is, watch out for some of these white folk. Or tell the boy, tell Jamal, you need to watch out for these white girls, man. They get you in trouble. Notice they never tell them not to be friends with them or to be hateful towards them. They just saying to watch out. And there's gonna be some people that's gonna be racist to you because of the color of your skin. They don't even tell their kids racism or bigotry from these other ethnic groups. It's only like white folks. I bet you $100 if you go ask a millennial, especially like the Gen Z millennials, racism and talk about racism and bigotry. The first image that come in their mind is like a white person, not a Latino or Asian, Arab, etc., etc. Said Haji, Samir. Oh, those are Arab names. But for real though, so the narrative, they're talking about anti-Asian sentiments. There's no anti-Asian sentiments in Black society. That's just no. Most Black Americans don't even think about Asians like that. They're not even on their radar like that. Most of our content with Asians is based in these businesses transaction. Remember, Hardcore Tito, aka General Tito, made a video about that on his Patreon. He called that out. No, it wasn't even. No, it wasn't on his Patreon. It was on his regular YouTube channel. It was like a 2-minute video talking about the anti-Asian hate bill. Um, so we don't have an anti-Asian sentiment. That's a load of crap. We don't. And then here's the thing. Let's say for craps and giggles, there are some black people who have anti-Asian sentiment. That's a huge difference. If a black person does have an anti-Asian sentiment, it's mainly because they had bad experience, bad observations, they got treated a certain way. It's not based on them being raised on the hate or being taught that in their household, compared to the other side. The other side got anti-black sentiments, and that's being taught in their household, in their culture. That's not being taught in black culture. Most of that comes from personal experience. If they even have an anti-Asian sentiment, that's from mainly personal experience. That's not based on our culture. I mean, we have a history of always being allies. They talking about, oh, we need black people to be better allies for us. Uh, if anybody thinks that, obviously they don't know history. Native Black Americans have always been allies to Asian society. It's some things I'm still finding. I didn't even know. The history books don't teach you that. I didn't even know until I started looking at videos, getting certain information like the Chinese Exclusion Act. I didn't even know about that. Then you had Frederick Douglass. He spoke up against that. Them Japanese internment camps. It was a lot of black people speaking up against that, and then black people were donating food to them. I didn't know that until somebody said that on one of their videos. What's next? On the Filipino Wars. I didn't even know about the Filipino Wars. David Flagging, black man, defect from the United States military, and then he went to go help those Filipino people because they were getting slaughtered. Them white folks about to exterminate them. Genocide. Yeah, the Korean Wars, the Vietnam War, and a lot of black people spoke up against those wars. And when they immigrated here, white folks didn't want anything to do with them. They didn't get accepted, so they had to come in our community. And I didn't even know that Chinatown, little Chinatown, that's been around for like over 100 years. I thought they only been around for like a couple decades, no, like a few decades. It's been around for a while, since like the 1800s. And them white folks used to go in their communities, grab a lot of them Chinese dudes, and send them to like the mountains so they can get ate up, scratched up by wild animals. And then they used to get their little Chinatown burnt down, just like how Tulsa, Oklahoma got burnt down. They did the same thing to them. And them white folk did the same white supremacists did to Native Black Americans back in those times. They did the same thing to Asian Americans back in those times as well. And you wouldn't even know this until somebody tell you, or you had to do your own research on history. They don't teach you this in these history books, because the people in position of power, they want people to be divided and not realize who the true enemies is. And I'm not trying to be on this hotep stuff, anything like that. I'm just speaking from the heart. I'm not with all that super militant hotep stuff, but I'm not with all that damn white supremacist shit too. Ain't with all this racism either. Anti-black shit. I'm not with all that either. I'm in the freaking middle. And I had something really interesting. I've been thinking. I wonder what the straight shooter. I wonder what he think about this situation, because he been calling out a lot of the Chinese for a while Like way before this whole Asian hate thing started coming out. He been calling them out. I wonder what he got to say about this situation. Cause I was learning some stuff from him. I consider Straight Shooter one of the master teachers. I learned stuff from him. I didn't even know, like in Korea, all them white dudes, they like 33% of the sex crimes there in Korea. No smoke for that. Brock Turner, the chick Brock Turner rape was Asian. I didn't even know that. The media left that part out. I didn't know that until Straight Shooter said that in one of his videos. Classic. And I just feel some type of way about this narrative. Black and Asian solidarity, and I'm all for it, but I don't like the narrative. What you mean, black and Asian solidarity, as if there's tension? Yeah, there's been some tension, and we should discuss it because there's a bit of anti-blackness on the other side that needs to be discussed. But it made it seem like everything that's been going on during this pandemic, all these attacks and stuff, it's black people been doing all this, and then we need to come together and to have a solidarity to discuss all this tension, as if black people are the main ones out here doing all these attacks, which is so far from the truth. You notice no one's saying a white and Asian solidarity, a white and Hispanic solidarity, because there's been a lot of white Hispanics and white people attacking Asians, but that's not getting showed in the media because neo-black society is the easier targets because we're considered the punching bag in the low end of the totem pole in society. And it's crazy, man. It really is. But I don't want to be on here too long. It's been over 30 minutes. I said I don't want to be on here for too long. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this whole situation. And for all these whole taps and out here throwing that brother in the bus, you wonder why we can't have a code. Talking about a code. What code? What code are you talking about? How are we gonna have a code when you throwing another brother under the bus for being a victim of a situation, and then use that situation to throw all black men under the bus? Talking about you black men, you need to be warriors. Y'all just want black men to be killed, get killed out here. We operate in a system that's not made for it. What you talking about? Be warriors? Yeah, be warriors, but you gonna have to move a certain way. We don't have the luxury. We don't have the same luxury as this mayonnaise guy to lash out and walk out of that situation alive, like Robert. What's his last name? Lee or something? Who shot all them Asian women in that shop? And it turns out he was going to other shops too, and he got chased down by the cops, and they let him live. They probably knew he was armed, and they let him live. That was a brother. They would have shot him dead. That's wrong. That was wrong. Some of these native black Americans, man, they want to feel good. But I'm out, man. I'm out. I might have a live tomorrow.